I realized something that almost made me laugh. I spent so much time trying to overcome my limiting beliefs, trying to identify them, trying to understand them, trying to trace them back. I am master chooser. Trying to figure out where they came from, trying to find evidence that they were finally gone. And all along, they were beliefs, not laws, not facts, not reality, beliefs. Stories I had repeated until they sounded true. That changes everything. I am master chooser. I am not a prisoner of a thought I once believed. I am not trapped inside an old assumption. I am not sentenced to repeat a story simply because I have repeated it before. I am free to choose again, right now. Money is easy for me. I started noticing how strange limiting beliefs actually are. I believe something about myself, then I look for evidence that supports it. I notice the evidence. I ignore what contradicts it. And then I say, see? I knew it. I knew people leave. I knew money was difficult. I knew things never work for me. I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew I couldn't do that. And every time I said, I knew, I strengthened the story. Then I called the story reality. Free to choose again. But it wasn't reality. It was a lens. I was looking through it. And then proving to myself that what I saw through the lens existed. Of course it did. I was looking for it. I understand that now. I don't need to prove my limitations anymore. Not to myself, not to anyone else. I don't need to explain why I can't. I don't need to build a case for why something is difficult. I don't need to defend an identity I don't even want anymore. I am supported. That story got evicted. I am master chooser. I can tell a different story. I can say money is easy for me. I can say I am deeply loved. I can say people stay. I can say I am incredibly capable. I can say life supports me. I can say opportunities are everywhere. I can say things work out for me. And I don't need the old story's permission. That feels powerful. I used to think I had to completely eliminate a limiting belief before I could be free of it. Now I see how funny that is. Why would I make the belief that important? Why would I give it that much authority? It is a thought. It is an assumption. It is an old conclusion. I can notice it without becoming it. I can remember it without choosing it. I can hear it without obeying it. I am not the story. I am the one choosing the story. That is the difference. I am not trapped by what I believed yesterday. I am not trapped by what happened 10 years ago. I am not trapped by what someone told me. I am not trapped by what my family believed. I am not trapped by what society expects. I am not trapped by statistics. I am not trapped by probability. I am not trapped by an old version of myself. I am abundant. I am master chooser. I choose now, and there is so much freedom in now, because I don't have to go backward and rewrite every thought I have ever had. I don't have to investigate every corner of my mind. I don't have to spend years repairing myself before I am allowed to experience something different. I am not broken. I was believing a story, and stories can change. I know because I have changed stories before. Things I once believed completely, I don't believe anymore. Things I once feared mean nothing to me now. Things I once thought were impossible became ordinary. So how permanent could any belief really be? I am loved. That realization feels freeing. I stop worshiping my limitations. I stop treating them like powerful hidden forces controlling my life. I stop introducing myself through them. I stop saying, this is just how I am. This always happens to me. I am creative. I've always struggled with this. Nothing ever changes. I know better now. Those are stories. And I don't have to keep telling them. I am allowed to surprise myself. I am allowed to contradict my past. I am allowed to wake up different. And I am allowed to choose something today that makes yesterday irrelevant. I love that. I don't need continuity with a version of me I no longer choose. I don't owe my old identity another chapter. I can close the book. I can tell a completely different story. I am loved. I am supported. I am abundant. I am capable. I am confident. I am creative. I am free. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am open to beautiful possibilities. And if an old thought appears, so what? It appeared. That doesn't make it an instruction. That doesn't make it prophecy. That doesn't make it truth. I don't have to fight it. I don't have to fear it. I don't have to analyze it. I simply don't choose it. Open to beautiful. That feels so simple. I am master chooser. I know where my authority lives, not in the old belief. In me, not in the old evidence. In me, not in the old story. In me. I decide what continues. I decide what ends. I decide what I identify with now. I choose possibility. And I choose freedom. I choose possibility. I choose expansion. I choose a story that feels beautiful to live. I no longer need to prove why I am limited. I would rather discover how unlimited I can be. I no longer collect evidence for the prison. I noticed the door was never locked. I was holding on to the story that said it was. And now I let go. I don't need to defeat the illusion. I am worthy. I need only recognize it. And I am not my limiting beliefs. I am not my past assumptions. I am not my old conclusions. I am the awareness that can choose again. I am capable. I am the author who can change the story. I am master chooser. I am free to experience myself differently. I am free to expect differently. I am free to believe differently. I am free to live differently. Nothing is holding me to yesterday. Nothing is forcing me to repeat an old identity. Nothing is demanding that I remain consistent with a story I no longer choose. I am here. I am now. I am free. I am powerful. And from here, I choose a completely different story.